Why you crave love but push it away. Fearful avoidant attachment could be the reason. Hi champions, I'm Dr. Meghna Dikshit, author of You Matter, and I'm so excited to welcome you to our channel. Before we go forward in the topic, make sure if you're new to this channel, then quickly subscribe and ring the notification bell so that you never miss out on any tools or insights that I offer you in these videos that I do every week. And if you're a committed subscriber here, then welcome back. Your journey to mastering your mind and living your best life continues here. Now, if you're ready to dive into this topic of why you crave love but push it away, type dive in the chat box right now. But before we begin, also remember to check out on the two links in the caption. They are very valuable. The first one is to join my live seminar where you will learn to train your brain and unlock your full potential to achieve all your goals. And second is to get my book, You Matter. Start your personal growth journey with me today. So let's dive straight into today's topic. Just the other day, my best friend and me were having a heart-to-heart talk. She was sharing about her relationship with her partner. Over the years, I have observed that my friend and her partner would go without a phone call or meeting or even a message for days. And then they would connect, meet, spend time together, and again there would be a long silence. This pattern was going on for years. I pointed this pattern out to her and said that she ought to change this pattern. There has to be regular connection and communication. To this, she replied, in the early days of the relationship, her partner would call her, message her, and ask to meet. But she would get irritated. She would rebuff him, saying that she was feeling suffocated. He then backed off. And now she was lamenting that there she feels the lack of intimacy. Also, a partner said to her that her sometime cold, sometime hot attitude was creating a stress. Dear friends, have you ever found yourself desperately wanting love, but the moment someone gets close to you, you panic, shut down, or push them away? The way my friend was behaving, you might tell yourself, I want a deep connection. But when someone actually tries to love you, you feel anxious, trapped, or unsafe. This confusing cycle, craving love yet fearing it, is the emotional world of the fearful avoidant attachment style. It is one of the most complex and painful attachment styles because it carries both deep longing and deep fear at the same time. Today, we will explore why this pattern forms, how it impacts your relationships, and how you can finally begin to heal and feel safe to love again. What is fearful avoidant attachment? Let's first understand that. So, this attachment is also known as disorganized attachment. People with this attachment style often swing between wanting connection and needing distance. They might say things like, I can't live without you, and a day later, I just need space. This push-pull pattern doesn't come from confusion, it comes from early emotional trauma. It's a result of growing up in an environment where the people who were supposed to make you feel safe were also the ones who made you feel afraid or uncertain. And the root cause of this pattern is childhood wound. So let's go back to childhood. Imagine a child who runs to their parent for comfort when they are scared, but instead of soothing them, the parent yells, ignores, or even becomes the source of fear. That child is trapped in terrible paradox. My safety and my fear come from the same person. So they learn to both crave love and distrust it. They learn to stay alert, always scanning for emotional danger. And as adults, that inner child still lives within them, wanting love deeply but terrified of being hurt again. This attachment often develops in children who experience inconsistent caregiving, emotional neglect, trauma, or unpredictable affection, sometimes love, sometimes rejection. Coming back to my friend, her childhood was quite traumatic. Her mother suffered from bipolar, and the home environment always unsteady. She took the brunt of her parents' stress. Growing up, she was always scared of getting emotionally hurt. In 2008, when I first met her, I observed that she had built huge walls around her. She would cringe from giving a friendly hug. Post her therapy sessions with me, she slowly allowed the walls to dissolve. It took a while for her to open up, but today she is a completely transformed person. We all are present to the warm, loving, beautiful person that she always was, but hidden, buried under the trauma. Let's now understand more about the inner world of this adult who's suffering from this pattern. On the outside, a fearful, avoidant person might seem confident, charming, or even distant. But inside, they live with emotional chaos. They crave deep intimacy. Yet, when someone truly shows love, they feel overwhelmed, suspicious, or even unsafe. Their nervous system is wired to see closeness as danger. Here is what often happens in relationships with them. One is intense attraction and connection. You fall fast, open up quickly, and feel deeply bonded. It feels like you finally found someone who gets you. The second is fear and withdrawal. Suddenly you start overthinking, you question their intentions, feel suffocated, or fear rejection. You might pull away or create distance emotionally or physically. Third is guilt and longing. When the other person withdraws in response, you panic and chase them again. It's a painful dance of closeness and distance. Love feels like walking on fire. You want it desperately, but you don't know how to stand still in it. The key here is to become aware that you are not broken. You are just carrying a nervous system that has learned to survive through vigilance and not safety. I shall now give you the steps to the healing journey. Healing the fearful avoidant attachment means teaching your nervous system that love can be safe, consistent, and grounding. So let's look at these 5 key steps in this journey. Step number 1, recognize the pattern without shame. The first step is self-awareness. Start noticing when you get triggered, when you pull away, when you chase, when you panic after closeness, and say to yourself, this is my fear of love showing up, not the truth about love. When you can name it, you can begin to change it. Step number 2, reconnect with safety in the body. The fearful avoidant nervous system is constantly on alert. Healing requires grounding practices that reteach your body what safety feels like. So slow breathing, yoga, grounding meditations, regular tapping on the thymus can also begin to create the feeling in the body that everything is safe. Because healing doesn't begin in the mind, it begins in the body. Step number 3, practice emotional regulation. Fearful avoidants swing between emotional highs and lows. So instead of reacting to every feeling, learn to sit with it. Journal your emotions, take mindful pauses, seek support from therapist or coach. The goal is not to suppress feelings, it's to observe them without being ruled by them. When you can hold space for your own emotions, you stop expecting others to regulate your fear. Step number 4, relearn what safe love feels like. Surround yourself with emotionally consistent people, friends, mentors, or partners who stay calm when you get triggered. At first, this may feel boring or uncomfortable because your body is used to intensity and unpredictability. But that steadiness is what safety actually feels like. Allow yourself to slowly trust it, to rest in it. This is where new attachment patterns begin to form. Step number 5, inner child healing. This attachment is rooted in a wounded inner child who wanted love but was afraid of it. Visualize that child. See them hiding behind a wall, both reaching out and pulling back. Now gently approach and say, you don't have to be afraid anymore. I will love you consistently, no matter what you feel. This practice reprograms your subconscious to associate love with safety, not danger. Your healing isn't about changing who you are. It is about helping the child inside you feel safe enough to trust again. As you heal, something magical happens. The chaos begins to settle. You no longer swing between craving and withdrawing. You start to feel calm in connection and safe in solitude. You learn that love is not supposed to hurt or overwhelm. It is supposed to heal. And you realize you were never too much or too complicated. You were simply someone who never felt consistently safe. Now, as you rebuild that safety within, you become capable of giving and receiving love freely, without fear, without mask, without running. If you have seen yourself in this story, please know your pattern is not your destiny. Fearful avoidant attachment is not a flaw. It's a survival mechanism born from pain. But survival is not the same as living. So take it one breath at a time. Every moment you choose awareness over reaction, every time you stay instead of run, you are reparenting your inner child and building a new relationship with love itself. You're not hard to love, you just need to feel safe enough to receive it. If this video helped you understand yourself better, then share it with someone who struggles with the same push-pull love. And comment below what is one thing that you will do today to make love feel safer for you. Remember, true love doesn't start when you find the right person. It starts when you become a safe space for yourself. Until then, next time.